More deals have been added to the PlayStation Store January sale. I was going to make another video about this, but after looking through the sale to find the new deals, there's about 100 new deals added, and they really suck to find. PlayStation hasn't made it easy to sort anything on the new PlayStation Store through the web browser, through the PS5, or through the PS4, so literally the only way to find these deals was to scroll through all the offers and just uncover new deals. It's really ridiculous. I've gone through and I've picked out 13 deals that I feel are worth mentioning. These are 13 new deals on the PlayStation January sale. Some are really good prices, some are just really good games. Let's dive in and take a look at them all. Hey folks, if you're a new viewer of the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I make new videos about PlayStation every single day on the channel, so hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date. Also, if you don't mind, a like would be really appreciated. It helps me out with the Google algorithm enormously. So let's see if we can get over 100 likes on this video. There are 13 games that I found that are new deals added to the sale. Let's have a look at the first one. Deal number one is Control Ultimate Edition. Now on its own, this is 20 bucks, so it's not the most amazing deal or offer, but the reason I want to call it out is because if you own this edition of the game, you'll get a free copy of Control on PlayStation 5 when it launches next month. It comes out in February. Well, so they say. So if you purchase this now, you've got a free copy of Control on PS5, and as we know, you'll get an additional trophy list plus all the enhancements that PS5 has to offer to a game like this. It'll be a full PS5 version, not just a up-resed or better frame rate. It's really a shame they didn't do that with every version of Control, but I mean, at least if you buy it now, you do get a really good deal on it before it comes out on PS5. Control, if you're not aware, is a third-person cinematic action game developed by Remedy. They're the guys who made Alan Wake, as well as Quantum Break. Kind of weird that they rhyme. You're investigating this paranormal instance, and the game's really cool. It's worth checking out if you're into narrative-driven games. I guess like compare it more closely probably to a Sony first-party title. I think it has that kind of special sauce that comes between narrative and gameplay. Next up, we have Ghost Runner, and this is actually a really new game that came out. First-person, cyberpunk-esque. I don't know whether like a Mirror's Edge sort of game mixed with Dishonored, I suppose. This one came out towards the end of 2020, and it got really good reviews when it launched, and it's actually a really neat game and experience. It's more cyberpunk than cyberpunk. The game's now $22.49, so again, it's not the cheapest offer on the market, but considering it's a game that only came out literally 2 months ago, it's a really good offer and deal for this title. Hunt Showdown. Now, longtime viewers of the channel know that Hunt Showdown was literally my favorite game that came out in 2020. It's a asymmetrical first-person PvE battle royale game, I guess is the best way to describe. You're a hunter, you have to hunt a bounty, which is an NPC. There are other players trying to also hunt the bounty and you. That's the general crux of it. If you're into first-person competitive games, this will be great for you. It is a lot slower than most first-person games. The game is absolutely fantastic. It's 20 bucks at the moment, and this game I haven't seen discounted super heavily throughout the year. It's stayed pretty high at its price point, so for $19.99 it's a really good deal. And if you pick it up, you might be able to come and play with me over on Twitch. I've been playing it over there on Fridays. That's right, I stream on Twitch, by the way. Twitch.tv/TPTJosh. Come over there and hit me a like and a follow. It would be really appreciated. Assassin's Creed Black Flag is $8.99. This is the fourth version. This is the fourth version of Assassin's Creed. This is the pirate version of Assassin's Creed, so it's a little bit old. This was actually a PlayStation 4 launch title, so about 7 years old at this point. But for 9 bucks, it's a really good deal. You're getting a bunch of content in here, like 60, 70, 80 hours worth of game from Assassin's Creed. It is the old school Assassin's Creed before they kind of changed things up with Origins and Odyssey. So if you enjoyed that older style, or maybe you haven't played the older style Assassin's Creed games because you've only played the more modern ones, then this could be quite good. This is arguably one of the better old Assassin's Creed games, except for Assassin's Creed 2, which is still my favorite of all time. Horizon Zero Dawn is 10 bucks as well. This one here is interesting because I think everyone probably has Horizon at this point. Third person, narrative driven, action adventure game. You play as this character called Aloy and she fights robot dinosaurs. It's actually a really good Sony first party title. I imagine a lot of you guys have probably already picked this one up, but this actually includes the Frozen Wilds DLC content, which was a massive expansion that came separate to the game as well. So maybe you purchased the base game. This is actually cheaper than buying the DLC on its own if you didn't get it, so it could work out as a pretty good deal for you if you haven't got the DLC already. This is also one of the few first-party Sony titles that didn't come to the PlayStation Plus collection. I imagine it will come to it as time goes on. My guess is either they're working on a PS5 port of this game, and that's why it didn't come to it, or it's going to come later when the new Horizon game comes out, possibly. But it's not currently free for PlayStation Plus users, so this is actually a really good option if you don't own it already. Judgment is $19.99. Judgment is made by the same developers who made Yakuza. It's set in the same universe as Yakuza, but you play as a completely different character. It has all of the wackiness and craziness that Yakuza has to offer. Very similar gameplay, combat, etc., except you're playing as a cop, detective, rather than as a member of the Yakuza. So you're playing kind of on the flip of what you would be playing in a Yakuza game. Very, very similar gameplay style, except it also has these sort of detective elements incorporated into it as well, which kind of freshen things up and do things differently. These guys are doing some really, really cool stuff with their games. Hats off to the Yakuza developers. I think them and Sega are doing some really neat stuff over there. They're innovating on the games, and they're pumping out a ton of these titles as well in very short succession, which is very impressive. Mortal Shell is $22.49. Mortal Shell is essentially Dark Souls. It's an indie version of Dark Souls that came out in 2020 as well, and it is 100% the best clone of Dark Souls I think I've ever played, especially from an indie studio. Maybe not the AAA, AA Dark Souls clones like Surge and things like that, but in terms of indie Dark Souls clones, this is the closest any of them have ever gotten, and there's a lot of them on the PlayStation Store. This is the closest any studio I have seen has gotten to From Software's like level of convolutedness and weird art style, and the developers of this clearly love Dark Souls, and it obviously inspired them to go away and produce this title. Very neat title, great price for a game like this as well. I know it's not a massive discount, but the game is absolutely worth it. It's a very good deal. SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. That name is a mouthful. Mascot platformer of old that's been remastered for the PlayStation 4. This one is a really straightforward and easy platinum trophy. It's basically just a collectathon. You may remember this game from your childhood if you're a similar age to me, playing it on the PS2. Really, really fun experience, and even playing it now, modern day, it still works really well. It does have a few bugs and glitches in there if you're going for the trophies, so be aware of that. But in terms of a gameplay experience, the game plays as well as it did back when it originally launched, I imagine in 2004. It's $20.99 on the PlayStation Store, so it is quite well discounted from when it launched in July as well. Styx. Now this is a franchise of games. They're stealth action games. Styx is a goblin character, and he originated actually from a PlayStation 3 title called Of Orcs and Men, where you play as an orc and a goblin, and that was actually like a tactical RPG style game, whereas these ones here are real-time action adventure or stealth action games. The entire game is played in stealth. You have to infiltrate this stronghold as this little goblin guy called Styx. This game is actually only $4, and ordinarily like a game like this I would say you could probably pass, but for $4 it's a pretty awesome stealth action game, and it did a better job of stealth action than other stealth games like Thief did, for example. So if you like those kind of stealthy type things, then this would be a good one to check out. World War Z, a 4-player co-op shooter, is $9. This is a really, really good deal for this one. World War Z basically takes these zombie hordes from Days Gone, dumps them into a multiplayer experience, and you and 3 of your buddies have to kind of just mow them down. They move exactly like they do in the movies in these big swarms coming at you, and they take, like, they're not bullet sponges, they take pretty much no damage to kill, but there's just so many of them being thrown at you at once. It's very impressive and overwhelming, and actually a lot of fun as well. I played this one with my friends when it came out in 2019. We had so much fun playing it in co-op. Yakuza Kiwami is also discounted, but actually every Yakuza game is discounted on this sale, and they're all discounted to different degrees, so I thought this is just kind of like all the Yakuza games. I don't know why they were added later. They weren't in the original sale, so they've all been added now, but like, as you can see up on the screen, pretty much every one of these games is discounted in some way. They're all really solid games, all worth your time. Maybe start from the beginning with Yakuza Kiwami. That's actually the cheapest one, but you could pick up literally any of these other ones and you'll be able to have a really solid time with a Yakuza game. And yeah. Risk of Rain 2, the frantic, fast-paced third-person shooter that has nothing really to do with the original Risk of Rain. I don't know why they called it Risk of Rain 2. This one is $7.99. Again, it's more of an indie-style game, but a really, really fun third-person action game, I would say, or action shooter game. There's not a huge amount of story here. It's very much about action and gameplay. That's really what comes in here. Game was super highly received when it launched on the PC and even on the PS4 and the consoles when it did eventually come out. Great game here, worth your time, worth checking out. And the last game on the list is Metro Exodus. This is the first-person apocalyptic, I don't even know what you would call it. It is an apocalyptic narrative game. This is the third entry in the franchise, but you can still play this without having played the first 2 Metro games. They They are set after a nuclear attack, and there's these mutated monsters and creatures, and then there's these other factions and enemies in the game as well that you have to play, that you have to kind of avoid and take out and things like that. Everyone lives in the sewers and underground of the train systems and things. It's quite unique and different, and it's only 14 bucks on the PlayStation Store. This one's a really, really high quality AAA title, and it's absolutely worth 14 bucks. It's a great deal and a steal for 14 bucks. But there you have it, guys. There is 13 games, or 13 new additions to the PlayStation January sale. Let me know which ones you're going to be picking up in the comments section down below. Maybe you've already spent all your money on games from the January sale because of all the other videos I published, and I understand that makes sense. I'm probably in the same boat as you guys, but I figured they didn't make it easy to find these games, so I wanted to make another video just to show some of them off, because these ones are actually really good, and there's really no way of showcasing them because the PlayStation Store sucks at the moment. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.